Man, you guys did DeJuan dirty. You did my man dirty. Good Lord. Welcome in on a Wednesday. Poor DeJuan. Man, that is dirty. We have a special guest today. This is quite exciting. The venerable Cookie Man, James Costa. Jim Costa joining us this afternoon. Jim, in an elite summer shirt, by the way.
I think so.
Very much. Yes.
It's better than what Kenny came to work wearing today.
Also correct.
Come on.
He's in full Blue Jays regalia. But it is appropriate you're here because no one has led the charge of the quarterback army like you. And the Lions are in quarterback season. Hendon Hooker yesterday, CJ Stroud visit looming, the offer to Bridgewater. So it's interesting. Doug and Scott talked a lot of CJ Stroud. So I said, okay, this is serendipitous. I mean, you're here on a day. Okay, so go ahead. Because right now when we look at this, do you buy this? This is the old Jamie and Wojo bit, something or nothing. Do you believe the CJ Stroud thing means anything? Let's get into it. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's something. You don't have a franchise quarterback and you're meeting with one who's going to be drafted in the top 5. It's something. There are rumors about teams moving up to 3.
Lions are one of them.
Right. Lions have met with Will Anderson.
My guy.
And are going to meet with CJ Stroud. These are guys who aren't going to be there at 6. So they're considering a trade up, and they're considering your guy and CJ Stroud. And I don't know that Lions fans will accept that. I know we're going to get a lot of smoke screen, ticket texts, and phone calls today.
Yeah, but I want those.
And please, but I think this is real. They're doing their homework on a guy they may draft in a little over 2 weeks.
Oh,
and you shouldn't bristle at it.
It's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah. But I think people have this idea, he's an Ohio State quarterback, like he's Craig Krenzel. You're not drafting Craig Krenzel. You're drafting a guy who, if his kicker could make it, would have been a national champion and carved up Georgia's defense.
Poor Ruggles.
Yeah, but I mean, like CJ.
And if they didn't lose Harrison Jr.
Sure.
To be fair.
CJ Stroud is coming off 2 very good collegiate seasons. Proven, productive, makes big throws, did it against Georgia's defense. And your team might actually step up to the plate, go get their guy who they're in love with. We should be excited about this.
All right. So let's do this. I don't want to talk about Hendon Hooker. I don't want to talk about Teddy Bridgewater. Let's go with what Cookies is saying. I want to know from you guys right here, right now. Do you believe the CJ Stroud thing is something or nothing? But moreover, isn't this another sign they're looking to move to 3? What Jim said, and I think it's absolutely spot on, is you shrink the player pool here. There's more certainty, right? Know how I always... People probably get sick of me doing it, Jimmy, but like I say about price certainty, I want certainty. I want to move up to a point in the draft where I know who I am drafting, and I know I want that player. Moving to 3, you've now shrunk the player pool. You take away almost all other possibilities, and to your point, you're probably limited to, now today apparently the betting favorite in Vegas is Bryce Young, but if you move to 3, it's Bryce Young, it's CJ Stroud, it's Will Anderson.
Great. I'd love any of the 3 of them. I think some people are closed-minded to just Will Anderson. I'd love any of the 3 of them.
The question is, what is your reaction 2 weeks from tomorrow if the Lions hand in that card and move up to 3 and take CJ Stroud? You guys know I want Will Anderson if I'm moving up. You also know I'm not married to any of it. I'm unemotional about Jalen Carter. If they took him or they didn't, I'm not going to be angry or I'm unemotional. There's very little they could do that would upset me. And then I know what people are going to do. Well, wouldn't you be upset about Stroud? Here's my answer. That while it isn't what I want and I wouldn't be thrilled, I have said to you, my audience, I trust Brad Holmes. I like that with these high draft picks, when he identifies an elite player, he goes and gets them. I saluted what he did with Jamison Williams. I still do. So if I say I trust him, and he's got a grade on Stroud that he's the best player in the draft, I have to trust him. I have to trust that he believes he has just drafted a superstar quarterback. Do I believe Stroud's a superstar? No. Do I want a quarterback? Also, no. But what I won't do is yell and scream because I have to show the GM a little bit of grace considering he is crushing his job duties. He's got this team as the betting favorite in the NFC North. They revamped their secondary pre-draft. So if they do something that I don't want, I can say I don't want it. I don't love it. But I'm not going to crucify it because, look, you're 1 year away from either paying Goff or getting rid of him. And if you don't believe Goff's a star, which you guys know I think more of him than many of you do, I can't kill this. I still believe they're only moving up to get Will Anderson.
But they have to be prepared for the scenario where Anderson goes to the Texans, which is another one of those rumors 2 weeks out from the draft.
That's right.
They need to be prepared for the possibility that they move up to 3 and it goes Young, Anderson, and it can't be oops. It needs to be we're ready. Mike, it's a compliment to them that they're in a position where they could draft a QB. They've done all the work to set a young quarterback up to be successful. Elite offensive line, great run game, short yardage, play action, well-schemed offense where the ball gets out quick where it's supposed to be. Guys are schemed open. This is a great setup for any quarterback, including Jared Goff, who I think is a beneficiary of a really good setup. It's not a guy I want to pay long-term. I'd go the rookie QB route, and now we have an avenue to do so because the Lions are meeting with CJ Stroud.
All right, people, he's laid it out. Now it's your job to support it. You want to attack the kid? Go for it. Don't feel like you got to call in and agree with my ass. Don't worry about it. I get it. If many of you want a quarterback, you've lived in the weeds. You've hid in the shadows. Well, today is your day to walk in the streets. Okay? I can't knock what he's saying. They're bringing in CJ Stroud. Now,
I'm not making this up.
Here's what I would argue, though. If you are future-proofing and you're scenario-proofing, why is there no interest in Bryce Young? Why were they not at his pro day? Where's the Bryce Young visit?
The belief is Young should go 1. He's the betting favorite. And if for some reason the Panthers don't do the right thing, Houston's not going to pass on him. The belief is that's their guy. It's why they were trying to move up to 1. They had a clear preference.
Right, but if you're moving to 3.
They might not like Stroud the same way, and they may take Will Anderson number 2. So the Lions are now evaluating all the scenarios because they do like CJ Stroud, or at the very least, they're interested enough to do the extra groundwork and homework to take him.
And for the record, I don't hate CJ Stroud, but I also don't love him.
Can you explain, or maybe someone on the phones will do a good job at this, why this would be a smokescreen? They don't have the number 3 pick right now. Who are they posturing? They don't have the pick yet to do that. Explain how this would be a smokescreen. They're currently sitting at 6. Maybe someone on the phones or ticket text can explain where the smoke would be here.
No, it's
why would they do this unless they were at least considering it seriously?
It's why I said today's your day.
Yeah.
Because Hendon Hooker could be a smokescreen. That can absolutely be a smokescreen at 18. But this, guys, all I can tell you is it doesn't matter what any of us want, myself included. They are quarterback crazy this week. You got the offer to Teddy touchdown. You got Hendon Hooker on Rotunda Drive yesterday. They're bringing CJ Stroud, the 222 Rodwood Drive. They got it all, right? Mm-hmm. They're quarterback crazy. So I need to know what your reaction is to it. And if they move up to 3 and they take CJ Stroud, where are you at with it? Because I'm with Jim that at least it is a possibility. It's not impossible. And there's no other reason to do it unless there is a level of interest. That doesn't mean infatuation, but I don't think we can say there's no interest. Now, if Teddy Bridgewater parachutes in and signs, do I think it greatly reduces the odds of them doing it? Yes.
Yes. Now, I'm of the belief Teddy's going to wait till after the draft.
Agreed.
He was presented with
time.
Because he wants to know what's the situation on the depth chart with all the teams that are offered him, not just the Lions.
David, now that shirt is very subtle. Just kidding. He's dressed like a giant peep.
It's right out of Easter.
It is. He's dressed like one of the marshmallow birds.
I can't do this. That's why he's saying this, because I'm just wonderful.
You know what, David? I'm going to agree with you. That is a little aggressive. There's only one other man who can wear pastel yellow the way you can, and his name is Mike Stone, the godfather of radio.
He pulled that off, didn't he?
I don't want to be compared with him, but
The picture you showed me?
Oh, from Sunday night?
You
Yeah.
look like a character out of Dick Tracy. Big Boy did it. Big Boy did it. It's unbelievable. But look, David, you're a Michigan guy. Can you separate your bias towards OSU? Lions move up. They grab CJ Stroud at 3. What's the reaction?
I don't like Stroud. And it has nothing to do with me being a Michigan fan. I just don't like him as a quarterback. I think he needs a lot of weapons around him, like he had at Ohio State. I don't think he could be anything outside of what he was because of those weapons. But, Cookies, I can give you the scenario. I believe it is a smokescreen here for the Lions, and here's why it works as a smokescreen for them, because right now you already have 3 out of the first 4 picks that are going to guarantee be a quarterback.
Oh, you can guarantee it?
Yes, I can guarantee that the Colts are taking a quarterback, the Texans are taking a quarterback, and the Panthers are taking a quarterback. So the smokescreen is, oh, wow, we got to get ahead of Detroit. They're looking at CJ Stroud. Now you force a team to trade up and get the quarterback, and you can get Carter or Anderson at 6.
No one's afraid of Detroit taking Stroud at 6. It's about Detroit moving up to 3.
Right, but if a team hears the whispers of Detroit trading up to 3, they can trade ahead of them first and get their quarterback. That's where I think the smokescreen is. And that's why I think they're doing the due diligence of doing this.
Yeah, but David, hold on. You only get 30 of these visits. And obviously the player pool is call it, 600 players deep, right? Are you really wasting one of your 30 on an outright lie?
But it's not an outright lie, because we also have heard rumors that Houston doesn't want or will not take a quarterback. So even if they trade up to 3, then the option still is CJ Stroud. And if you don't do your due diligence, you would have no idea about him.
That's my point, that it's real on some level. And I think there's people in denial right now. I think it's a real possibility, and I need to get the reaction if they actually do it.
248-539-9797. Let's get involved. We're not making stuff up. It's not fantasy radio. The Lions, who brought in Hendon Hooker yesterday, are bringing in CJ Stroud. Now, would I really start to believe if they brought in Bryce Young? Would I really start to go, you know what? They're QB crazed.
They did meet with Richardson at the Combine, and every team was at his pro day. So they have been doing some research and some due diligence.
Quarterback crazy.
Uh-huh.
Are you opening your mind to that possibility? Cookies is here today. Rico on vacation. Let's get into it. Do we have a live flight tracker? Do we have the tail numbers on the Stroud Express landing in Rotunda? 248-539-9797.